Hey, what's going on guys? Magmaren here, and as you can tell by the title of this video, it's kinda something a little different. What I mean by the making of A Twisted Nightmare is I'm just gonna, show the drawing process of it, and while that's going on in the background, I'm just gonna answer some questions I asked on the YouTube community post. So yeah, let's just get into it. By the way, this is the reason why I said it's gonna be like a Q&A, but not a Q&A, because it's not gonna be called a Q&A, and I don't intend on this video being like a Q&A. It's more of like I'm just gonna talk while the video draws in the background, Anyways, let's get on with it, shall we? Alright, so the first one comes from FT Loxy, the Pirate Fox, where their question is, what's your favorite FNAF character? My favorite FNAF character. My default answer is Springtrap, because I like Springtrap, because he was kind of a different animatronic in the sense that compared to the first two games, he was actually different in the fact that he wasn't just like a version of the original animatronics. He wasn't like a toy version or a withered or a phantom version. He was like his own new, unique character. And the reason I say maybe Springtrap is because after Scrap Trap came out in Freddy Fazbears Pizzeria Simulator, it's pretty much Springtrap but just scrap form, and it's also, you can just call him William Afton because it is William. I've kind of started to like that design for Scrap Trap, aka William Afton. I don't know, it's between the two. It's definitely what I like to call one of the Trap Brothers, because it's Springtrap and Scrap Trap, so I call them Trap Brothers. But I might just have to say Springtrap still, just because when I saw Springtrap in FNAF 3, he was the coolest to me. So we're gonna say Springtrap. So the next question comes from Sylveon Pokemon, home of the little Eevees, where she asks, Magma, what was your name before you became a demon, and do you like Deltarune? So I'll answer the Deltarune one first, because that's easy. Yes, I do like it. I think it's cool. I'm curious to see whether this is going to turn out to be like a sequel or a prequel, because there's a lot of confusion. Or it's probably just like a different, I guess, dimension or a different timeline kind of thing. It's one of those things, most likely. But yeah, I'm curious to see the whole lore behind this one. And as for what was your name before you were a demon, part of the lore for my character, I'm just gonna say his name has been Magma the whole time. For the overall lore story of Magma as a demon, so before he was a demon, he was still called Magma. Even though it's me, and obviously that's not my real name. I'm not gonna say my real name just yet, just because, I don't want to start, I don't know. I just don't want to, start putting my my name and stuff out there yet, or, just safety reasons. Alright, so the next question comes from Lord Cooler. Ooh, is that hold on a minute, I'm gonna check out their character, their little picture. Is that, it's Cooler, alright. Dragon Ball guy. Haven't seen one of you in here in a while. That's good. Well, Lord Cooler asks, is Lolbit going to be in some video? And the second question, will be there Molted Freddy and Scrap Baby in the FNAF 6 series I have going on. So basically, he was talking about my A Twisted Nightmare series. Lolbit, I have not intended on doing Lolbit in anything, just because, in a way, he or she, whatever it is, doesn't really have their own, body. It seems like they're just, a computer data virus or something. It's not a real entity. It's more of just something that's in the internet, it's not, it doesn't have its own body, and it probably could get its own body since it's scattered, its mind, I guess, or its overall being is in the internet, from what it looks like, just because they pop up on the screens and stuff, from Sister Location. But maybe, I don't know, not in the moment, no, I don't plan on making anything with a little bit in it. Maybe if I did a Sister Location video, or something like that, maybe I would, but as of right now, no. And the second question, will there be Molten Freddy and Scrap Baby? Ooh, I see this too many times, guys. You just gotta wait, man. You can't. I can't spoil stuff. I can't say yes. I can't say no. I can't say maybe. You know, I don't want to spoil anything if there is or isn't. You're just gonna have to wait and see if they do show up. You know. I'm sorry, Cooler. I'm sorry. Please don't blow up my planet or whatever you Frieza people like to do. So the next question comes from Brian Tierce. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Brian. Their question is, who is your favorite FNAF sister location character? I don't really... I was never really that big of a fan of the sister location characters. I mean, they fit into the story perfectly. Scott's a genius, but... the overall, like, crew, the sister location crew, I didn't really care too much about. I guess it would either have to be it, or my first answer I'd give would be Funtime Freddy, just because I can see him being hilarious to hang out with, especially with Kellen Goff's voice still. Oh, that would be funny. I think me and him would get along great. Or the second option would be maybe Baby, just because her story is so unique. And like when Sister Location came out, I remember I used to believe that Ennard was controlling her and the other Fun Times, but then as you start getting more into the story, you actually learn they control Ennard because they are Ennard. So I'd have to say Baby, just because she seems so diabolical and up to a lot of shenanigans and stuff like that. Alright, so the next question comes from Beyond Crystal, where they ask, when did you start making YouTube videos? What was it, 2017? 2017? It was my junior year. No, it was the summer entering my junior year, where I started making YouTube videos. And at first, for some who've seen most likely, but a lot of you probably don't know, is I originally wasn't an animation channel. At first I was really into making tributes, so like, you know, like gathering pictures online of like let's look at this, like General Grievous from example from Star Wars. Like if you type in General Grievous tribute on YouTube, you will find a bunch of different, like, I guess, quote, music videos of General Grievous that people make. And that's what I wanted to do at first. That, and then doing impressions, and then doing Undertale comics, which I did. I did the Undertale comics, I did a little bit of impressions, and then I rarely did any tributes for characters. And that's where I started, and that was back at the summer of me going into junior year of high school. And then throughout that, I was in an art class, and I started getting back into art. And then I saw people were doing FNAF comics and animations, and I was like, I can probably do that. So I started drawing these little terrible looking animatronics and made comics out of them. Then they started, as time went on, I started improving, I looked for better ways to improve, and then I started making animations, and I'm here now. And I'm still willing to make them better, because they're not the best, but I am willing to put in the work and effort and time to make them look better. Alright, so the next question comes from Mystery Bunny Videos, where they ask, just want to know, how did you become a demon? I'm actually going to be making soon animations on that. For now, I'm going to stick, well, there's one more, I guess, special video coming out because I want to make a Christmas special. I'm still deciding if it'll do with Christmas in general or if it'll just be like a FNAF Christmas. We'll see, I might do two, but I want to get back to just making a Twisted Nightmare story because it seems like it's been a while since I've just focused on that. And you know, it's good sometimes to put some things aside and then come back to them later so you're excited more and full and have more motivation to do that project. But at the same time, I've kind of put it off a little bit too much, and I want to get back to getting every week the new animation being from A Twisted Nightmare. So we'll see. So yeah, that's getting off track, but I do have a story plan on how I became a demon character, and it's gonna be probably like a 4-part story. Who knows? I'm still deciding everything. Who knows? I'm figuring this stuff out. You know, thinking of ideas and how I'm gonna do it. So that will definitely be coming out soon. So just look forward to that. And then we got another question from Shadow the Hedgehog, where he asks, who is your favorite slasher? And then he says his is Michael Myers. Well, believe it or not, Shadow, mine is Michael Myers as well. That's right, hard to believe, right? It's not like I make him included in a lot of different videos and then people were like saying, where's Jason? He's a slasher. But really, Michael Myers came first and he is way better than Jason. If it weren't for Michael Myers, then Jason wouldn't be here and... Sorry. I got off topic there. But yeah, it's Michael Myers. He is the best. I remember seeing Halloween 4, believe it or not, was my first Halloween movie I've ever watched. I watched it on TV when I was in 4th grade. Good idea, right? We have this 8-year-old who sees this slasher killer ripping out people's throats and jamming guns through people and sticking them on the wall. And then I can sleep for about 3 years. But yeah, it was Halloween 4, and in my opinion, that Michael Myers mask was the scariest because he was like a Frankenstein monsters character, but still, obviously, you can tell he's human because he's wearing that mask in his hands and stuff. And he gets hurt like a normal human still, too, even though he doesn't die. But that mask, for some reason, was creepier than the William Shatner mask from Halloween 1 and 2. Just because on that mask, it still had facial features. Like, that mask is scary, don't get me wrong, because it's just a blank expression. But Halloween 4 mask literally was just a blank white expression. Like, literally. There were no other features really on it. No details of, like, bone structure or lips or anything. It was just a pure white mask and you can tell there was a nose and a mouth. And sometimes that mask looked like it was giving a little grin, which was even more horrifying. So that's my favorite slasher, and that's the reason why. And then after that, I saw Halloween 5. After that, terrible idea, because that one sucked. And then I watched them all in order from Halloween 1, 2, didn't see 3 because Michael Myers wasn't even in it and it was stupid. Then I saw 4, which was good. 5, not. 6, oof. God, 6 was, no, we're not going to talk about it, but yeah, it was not good. Then Halloween H2O, which not Halloween Water, Halloween H2O, meaning Halloween 20 years later. And that was a good one. Halloween Resurrection. I never actually fully saw it, but what I saw of it, no. The Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Actually, I'll admit, the first Rob Zombie Halloween remake, that was good. I really liked that one because it made Michael Myers scary. Like, you can say whatever you want about the story, but that Michael Myers was horrifying, and it made Michael Myers scary again. But Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, no, we're not going to talk about that. And then finally, Halloween 2018. Basically Halloween H4O, Halloween 40 years later. And I saw that, and my goodness, that was a good movie. I loved it. I'm not going to say anything about it, but man, that was a good movie. If you're a child, don't watch it, you know. There's nothing inappropriate, just a lot of violence and swearing, so you shouldn't watch that. Next one comes from Braden Baum. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Braden. They asked, do you have a relationship with anyone? No. What did you use to make the animations? I draw them on IBIS Paint X, and then I transfer the pictures onto my computer, and I use VideoPad Editor to put them together in a very old school way that takes forever. So yeah, I definitely need to learn how to use Adobe Flash and anime and stuff like that. The next question, are you related to Sonics.exe? No, I don't know why you people keep asking that. I'm a demon, he's a hedgehog, even though he looks like a demon hedgehog. German the Dog asks, do you have your own C? FNAF own C, no C, no. But I do have, obviously, as you can tell, a channel like OC/logo/mascot, which is this little guy right here, Magma Red. He's a little red demon with black possessed eyes because he used to be human, but now he's a little red black demon. And then they ask, how much do you love FNAF? This much. You can't see, but I have my arms spread across. This much. I love it this much. Anthony Laroque, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, asks, how can I be awesome like you? Well, Anthony, it takes a lot of years of skill and practice to become awesome like me. You gotta like travel to the Himalaya mountains, train with the great masters up there in the north. You gotta I don't know. I don't know. I'm just myself, you know. I'm just myself, and if people think I'm awesome, that's cool. And if people don't think I'm awesome, all right, that's all right too. I don't really, it doesn't bother me too much. And I've noticed that, you know, as long as you're yourself, and being yourself means you're kind to others, and you know you're not a douche. You know, people will like you and they'll think you're awesome. So that's what I've learned, really. Dragon Girl 101 asks, who's your favorite FNAF character? I already said that. And what's your favorite FNAF game? Well, since Springtrap comes from FNAF 3... Oh, well... Actually, scratch that. I really enjoyed Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator just because of the aesthetic of being able to make your own pizzeria as well. Like that's cool, because then you don't just jump straight into the next night after panicking from the night before. So you get a time to relax a little bit and set up your restaurant. And that's pretty cool. And it's fun in the sense of you're a businessman and you get to make your own restaurant and you got to deal with all this stuff. I don't know. That seems like work and nobody wants to do that. But in a video game form, it kind of looks awesome to me at least. So, technically Springtrap's in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator 2. So we're going to go with that one. That's my new favorite FNAF game. Zakaya Roy asks, how do you do the voices for your animations? For your animatronics, I mean. Well, okay, so I'm actually glad that question's asked, because I get that question a lot, but it's hard to respond to in just purely, like, message form. So let's look at it this way. So, for my voices, this is probably the best way to make voices for characters in general, is that... So let's look at my voice for William Afton, for example. You know, at first I tried just doing an impression of... You have to practice, of course. Always practice, because otherwise it just won't sound good. I practice a lot, you know, if I'm in the bathroom or in the shower and driving my car to school or something like that. Or if I'm just alone at home, you know, I'll practice doing voices and just reading lines and stuff, you know. And so, let's look at William Afton's, for example. I tried at first to copy PJ Haywood's, sorry about that, for saying it wrong, Haywood's William Afton impression, but when it comes to impersonating another character, especially if that character already has their distinct voice, it's tough to impersonate them because then you're trying to live up to that expectation. But for example, I do a pretty good Megatron voice, you know, from the Transformers movies, like Lord Megatron. I am the Decepticon ruler. And so I just used that voice, or like the original 3 movies, like Dark of the Moon, like, tell me, Prime, who would you be without me? And then I used that voice for William Afton just because it's easier for me to do and it sounds like him. So what you gotta do is kind of like practice doing voices of a character that you think that character would sound like. Because that's really what it is instead of you can create your own voice, of course, as you want, but like I find it's easier to like use a voice that you could possibly impersonate better and then adapt that to making it your own voice for that character. It's complicated still even when you're saying it, but it's a little easier than messaging it, so I don't know, that's how I do it. That looks like it'll about wrap it up for this. I know I have a lot more questions, but maybe I'll do this again because I'm pretty sure this video is about to end now. So, thank you. Thank you for all the support you guys give me on my animation videos, whether it's FNAF or not, because when I saw that Halloween one do pretty well, I was like pretty excited just because it's showing that, you know, to me at least, it shows to me that you guys aren't just here for FNAF, or not. I mean, some of you probably are, but you know, there are definitely people who are willing to watch my other things I want to do rather than just FNAF, which is good because I don't want to just be stuck to FNAF forever. But I might be just because Scott keeps making new things. Like he's making a movie, another books, some more books are coming out, and then he's doing like different games, VR games, and other different games. So it's not gonna, FNAF may not end for a while, so either it's gonna end and that's when I'm done making animations, or I'm just gonna get sick of it, but I'm not getting sick of it, so don't worry about that. But it is cool to see that you guys are willing to at least give other things I want to do a chance. So like that Halloween video, like that was cool. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It really means a lot to me. And subscribe to PewDiePie. Yep, bye.